What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So it was brought to my attention in a live stream the other day that I haven't done my favorite or best plum fragrances. I thought, you know what? That's a great idea. So I looked across the collection at fragrances I have that have dominant plum. Not just have plum in the note breakdown, but dominant plum that I recommend you test out and try for yourself because they're actually really good fragrances. This isn't just 10 plum fragrances. This is 10 plum fragrances that I think are damn good. So this was actually a fun one. I can't wait to talk about each of these, so stay tuned. Starting with a lot of people's favorite in the Guerlain L'Homme Ideal line. This is Edal Extreme. So extreme, technically. This is a lot of people's favorite. This is my strong number 2 behind the Intense, but it's very earthy from tobacco. Nice spicy hit of cinnamon with juicy, mouth-watering type of plum. Great performance to boot. Man, if you've never tried this one, there's a real good possibility this will become one of your favorite fragrances. Guerlain does beautifully blended fragrances with good quality materials here as far as their oils. It's just floating around the air. It's a little medicinal. The way the plum comes across, just a hint medicinal, but that's okay. Everything balances out well, has that bitter almond, that slight creamy yet bitter almond that's kind of like the thumbprint for the DNA. This is an absolute stunner for the cooler weather like we're experiencing currently at the recording of this video. I would urge you. We started off hot here with one that I deem to be kind of a must sample. It's a phenomenal plum-based fragrance. It's Guerlain L'Homme Ideal Extreme. Smoky spice sweet. Very, very fruity. Another juicy plum, not so medicinal this time around. Some vanillic sweetness, a nice smoky cardamom kind of combination. We are talking about orchid leather. The leather here is of the soft and supple type of leather. It's not some abrasive, niche, animalic type of leather. It's more in line with designer. Cleef Arpels is a designer, but I would put the quality of these fragrances up with in the realm of the private blend stuff from other designers. But you can get these around 80 bucks for these 75 mLs. I also have Ombre Imperial. 2 for 2 with this. This was my first fragrance from them. This was a Fragrance Dude recommendation. Shout out to Randy. He had urged me. He said, you'd like this. You should get it. He was right. Juicy hit of plum in the top. We're going to spray this one too. And then you get that smoky incense hit right away. The vanilla's on the creamy side. You'd get just as much of this soft, like brown, supple leather feel, like designer leather goods, purses, wallets, belts, that kind of soft brown leather. Very, very juicy. Not over the top spice, but there's a nice, mid-level range of supportive spiciness, just kind of rounding everything out to where it's not too sweet and creamy, it's not too smoky, it's not too fruity. Everything's pretty well balanced here and kind of plays harmoniously and just kind of cruises through the scent profile with above average performances, great for the cooler weather, and a great date night fragrance. This is some serious bang for your buck in my opinion, and a beautiful plum fragrance to boot. This is from Cleef Arpels. This is Orchid Leather. Over the top popular, the gray sweatpants of the designer world, as I mentioned the other day. Your lady's not going to let you leave the house with this on unless she's with you. It is Paco Rabanne's 1 Million Lucky. Yes, this is an older bottle back when it was clear glass on the backside. Now it's a darker glass, but same great smell. Plum, hazelnut, and honey. Hints of spice, soft woods. It's going to smell like just this blend of just plum fragrances in here. So far, I've sprayed the first 3 we've talked about. Can you tell I really like these fragrances? I wasn't joking when I said I'm excited to talk about these. Talked about this one the other day. This is a cheat code kind of fragrance. You gotta like sweet designers. We are a sweet designer fragrance household here. My wife will take me wearing a sweet designer over anything aside from the Fierce DNA and the Silver Mountain Water DNA. That's her 2 favorites, but anything sweet designer, count her in. And she was sniffing on this one the other day. The video I had featured it in, she would come grab some bottles and start sniffing. She ended up spraying this one on her arm because yeah, this stuff's impressive. It smells a little cheaper and synthetic than some of the other fragrances we're talking about here, but out in the air, pure magic in the sillage. This is the come hither type. Again, gray sweatpants kind of stuff. This is the Mr. Steal Your Girl kind of thing of designer fragrances. So I know that's not what everybody's wearing a fragrance for, but that's what a lot of people are wearing a fragrance for. Again, gray sweatpants, plum, hazelnut, spices, and oh my god, honey. Thick honey. Paco Rabanne's 1 million. Lucky. Fresh, aromatic, sweet, juicy, on the chemically synthetic side. Up close, it smells cheaper than it does out in the air, but still has this woody, fresh, musky, lightly spiced feel. Very blue fragrance with dominant plum. Carolina Herrera's Bad Boy Cobalt. Sure, Bad Boy Elixir could go here. I don't think they list the plum in Bad Boy Elixir, but you still smell it. This is the base DNA fragrance they flankered from. But I would take this one over Cobalt Elixir because I can wear this in more situations. I'm in a warmer climate. It's more everyday versatile. I just realized we're 4 for 4. I guess I'm going to spray every damn fragrance. I'm going to try not to because we got some crazy strong ones coming up. Like these are strong. The really strong ones are on the back half, the second 5. But oh my god, I was so late to the party on this one. This is such a me fragrance. I've raved about this one all through 2024. I got it at the beginning of 2024. And it's one of my favorite fragrances. One of my favorite designers for sure when it comes to stuff to just wear. No special occasion, just pick up and go. Man, this smells incredible. High compliment factor, easy to go nose blind to. I actually do get about 8 hours of longevity with some decent projection and sillage. But again, the nose wears out to these sharp chemically synthetic fragrances. But out in the air, man, is this magic. This is beautiful. High compliment factor, guys. High compliment factor. No guarantees, but it's a goodie. Bad Boy Cobalt from Carolina Herrera. Okay, this is like really, really good. It kind of gives me a little bit of a boozy feel. It's similar to Tom Ford's Tobacco Vanille, but it's not really the same. Big hit of juicy plum at the top. Again, another one doesn't have a medicinal feel, but there's a lot of spice and earthiness here. Cloves, ginger, tobacco. It's Franck Boclet tobacco. This is one that really punches well above its price point. This outclasses a lot of fragrances in that $70 price range. It's some good stuff. Great long-lasting fragrance. Not overwhelmingly obnoxious if you don't heavy spray it. Really captivating. Just beautiful stuff to wear in the cooler weather. Day or night, if you like tobacco, this is a great one to wear anytime. Long as it's not hot outside. I think definitely need the milder weather on to the cold weather to pull this one off because it can come across a little heavy, be a bit cloying if you're heating up with humidity and sweat and all that good stuff. Maybe not the best choice here. But right now with what we're dealing with at the recording of this, I mean, we've got a snowstorm coming across the U.S. in the upcoming week. This is nice and cozy for those types of things. Another high compliment factor fragrance that is based around tobacco. Obviously, that's the centrally focused accord with it being named tobacco, but it's got just as much ginger and clove spice with plum as anything else. I wouldn't have featured it if the plum wasn't dominant to me because it's a nice juicy hit as soon as you spray. You get that plum right away. Man, what a great fragrance. Again, that's Franck Boclet tobacco. Okay, this is like biting into a plum. This isn't the artificial stuff. This is a nice quality cedar wood, light floral, spicy fragrance. Oh, that's the main things you're going to get from this. This is one of the best kept secret niche luxury indie fragrances you can buy. This is Maison Daba's Silent Night. Some of you have been watching this channel for a while, have heard me speak on and praise this fragrance. This is an absolute stunner. They have a few offerings now, but this is still wide and far their best, far and wide would have been the right way to say it, their best fragrance. And it's not, this kind of tobacco artificial, this kind of tobacco artificial, where they smell great, again, artificial. And I'm not saying it's completely natural, but it's more photorealistic to actually taking a bite out of a plum. This is outstanding. Their other 2 fragrances are fantastic, but if I pick one to keep, if I pick one to recommend, it's Silent Night 10 out of 10 times. Oh, that cinnamon spice too. Beautiful atomizer. High quality oils. This is niche stuff, independent brand, luxury goods here, guys. Nothing challenging here. Their other fragrances are oud based, whereas this is more like cedarwood focused, but quality like Virginia cedar, Atlas cedar stuff. I forgot exactly which cedar, but not that sharp, cheap smelling cedar with, like I said, photorealistic biting into a plum, soft white florals, nice hit of warm spice, but doesn't make it over the top warm. It'll cut through the cold, but I think it's just as good in the spring and fall as it is in the cooler weather. Just a, I mean, standout to wear every single day if you just want to be different. It has a high level of wearability where I think you can wear it day and night, wear it to work and stuff like that. It doesn't just have to be cooler weather evenings, dinner dates, and stuff like that. It'll shine in those situations, but you can totally pull this off during the day. It's got a casual feel to it at the same time. Again, that's from Maison Daba. Get that to focus real quick. This is Silent Night, a straight up standout. Now, admittedly, I didn't get a lot of plum the first 2 or 3 times I smelled this. Maybe it needed to macerate. I don't know. But I get a lot of plum now with woods, and it's very aromatic. It's very sage dominant. It's not a real soapy lavender sage combo, but a lot of aromatics. Creamy woods. Nice peppered spice plum. This is Lattafa's Vintage Radio. I believe they're going for Paragon from Initio. This is kind of a community favorite among the affordable alternative crowd, and I could see why. So much creamier than it used to be. Oh, that Palo Santo. God, that creamy, woody, relaxing smell of Palo Santo. Very dominant in this fragrance. Juicy plum meets creamy woods. Like I said, hint of pepper, nice and sweet, really long lasting, really strong. I think the bottle could have been better if the bottle would have actually looked like this vintage radio instead of being this rectangle with a picture of a vintage radio. I think would have been even better, but tomato, apples to oranges, I guess, at the same time. So because the bottle's not that important, it matters to a lot of people, but in this price point, maybe not so much. You want a quality smell with good performance. It's one of the reasons you go the route of the affordable alternative, right? Oh, and you definitely get that. It smells so good. It's so creamy. So creamy, so fruity. Again, dash of pepper, just a little hit of spice. I get it now. I didn't get it at first. I was like, it's good, but it's not like, oh my God, amazing like everybody's telling me it is. But over time, really grew on me. I've been testing it again recently, and that's why I was like, I got to include this one. So, Lattafa's Vintage Radio, definitely a great interpretation. While not as plum dominant as the others, you definitely get a hit of it in the opening. Lattafa's Vintage Radio. Now, speaking of Lattafa, this is recent. I have fallen in love with this. This is my favorite Lattafa fragrance. It's Plum Liqueur. So it's got a little bit of a boozy hit to it. Super juicy fruit. I mean, juicy, juicy, juice. Probably the juiciest of this particular list of fragrances. It is Teriaq Intense. I recently did a full review on this one within the last week. I freaking love this fragrance. Big, big hits of cinnamon with Plum Liqueur. So freaking good. I guess I'm spraying everything. Oh, man, they hit it out the park with this fragrance. I'm such a fan. This is so much better than the original to me and to my wife. We both agree. It's not close. It's really not. They killed it. I encourage checking it out. Sample some kind of way if you can. If not, man, if it sounds good, do your thing and buy it. People compare it to Angel Share. I've been seeing a lot of people ask about that in the comments. Like, yeah, there's some relation to it, but it's not Angel Share. It's not that kind of boozy. It's not cognac. It's not as sweet as an Angel Share. It's got the cinnamon. Like, there's similarity here. Undeniably, I'm not going to sit here and say there isn't, but it's still its own thing. I don't think they were going the dupe route here, guys. Really weren't. Cinnamon bomb, too. Man. But it's not over the top, make your nose tingle. It's not like spoonful of cinnamon, but it's a lot of cinnamon. Maybe that's a little contradictory to say, but I'm trying to depict it the best I can and articulate my thoughts. But man, this is so freaking good. Highly encourage you to check this one out. Again, it's from Lattafa. It's Teriaq Intense. Okay. I put it in the thumbnail. This is a vintage bottle. You notice the color is different. Shout out to the Bishop Jared Miller for blessing me with one of his vintage backup bottles. Scents of Wood, Plum and Cognac, a quintessential poster child for this particular topic and list. I don't think you can have this video without this fragrance. I really want that mirrored frickin' label. Come on, maybe if I do that. There we go. Plum and Cognac. Man, this fragrance doesn't play fair. We're actually going to spray this one on the hand. Just a little bit. I just want a little bit. Because it's strong. Super boozy. Rum, rum, rum. Oh, shot of rum. Whoo, boy. A little medicinal in the plum, kind of ripe. A lot of it. Earthy stuff. Earthy, spicy with a shot of rum. Oh man, been a little bit since I put this one on skin, but this one had to be here because these last two, man, they're the pricier ones. This isn't the most expensive thing. The next one's like super expensive, but oh, it's a treat that can't be beat, and this is right there next to it. This is one of the greatest things you can ever put your nose on that's got, you know, prominent plum. It's just what it is. Niche done right, guys. It's very smoky. Oh my god, it's so freaking good. Strong stuff. You saw that just that little bit I spritzed on my hand. I can't. I'm trying not to whistle because it's gonna be loud in the microphone. But and all of a sudden we went from cloudy, rainy to the sun's coming up. I mean, it's fine as long as I don't have the blinds. You know, some of the videos will come through on my face and stuff. So we're good. But guys, get a sample of this. Sense of Wood. They have discovery sets. This is their most popular fragrance for a reason. It is that good. You owe it to yourself. If you like plum, you need this. And remember, it's earthy, it's smoky, it's spicy, it's a big shot of rum. There's a lot going on here. It's not a crazy complex note breakdown, but there's nuance here. And nuance equals greatness in perfumery. And that's probably a great way to describe plum in cognac. I would say greatness is a great word to fit it. Okay, hands down, my opinion, best plum fragrance I own. Save the best for last. This wasn't really ranked, but I saved the last two to be the last two for a reason. This was recent. Yes, it was sent to me, but look, I warn you, because this is exactly how it would go for me. If you choose to sample this fragrance, be prepared to potentially fall in love with it and be like, damn, now I got to save up and get a $400 bottle. So caution if you're going to sample it. Be prepared to want this $400 bottle. So if you don't want to reach that crossroads, don't try this fragrance. I'm not trying to be funny. I'm not trying to add humor. I'm dead serious. If you don't want the potential of, like I normally buy $50 fragrances all the time, and that's you, which is all good, it's cool, I'm not throwing shade, and you're like, I ain't dropping that kind of money on a fragrance, then don't try this, because you're going to probably want it. Mind Games Mentor. Oh my damn, is this amazing. This Boya Oud that it's focused around, I'm going to get it to focus, I'm determined. There we go. Is a smoky, earthy oud. You get salted caramel. It's not really that salty, but rich, syrupy, thick caramel as soon as you spray it with this dark, thick, like the caramel plum combo is, my God, is it amazing. We got to put a little bit, let me get the sleeve back a little bit here. I don't want to spray the hoodie, just a little bit. Okay, that's all I need. Just a little bit to, there it is. It's a little medicinal. It is. This quality shit right here, guys. Mind Games, they're expensive for a reason. They're original fragrances. They're amazing. Don't sample it if you don't want to end up spending the money on a bottle, I'm telling you. This will knock your freaking socks off. Just a little bit of coffee underneath. Give this kind of dark roast feel because it's a darker fragrance. It's heavy. It's that nice, I don't want to say robust spiciness, but it's because it's a thicker fragrance, everything kind of comes across robust in this fragrance. Overall, as a composition, it is a robust fragrance. But it's layered the way the nuance comes across because you get caramel plum hard up top, smoky, earthy, little underlying tone of coffee that comes across more as it dries. Super warm amber, sticky kind of amber as it gets into the dry down. And it's just the right amount of sweet to balance it. It's not a over-the-top sweet fragrance, even though it's very fruity. And you do have, I believe, some vanillas in here, and you have caramel. You would think that's crazy sweet. And it is sweet, but it's not crazy sweet. Everything's blended well. It comes together well. This puzzle, the pieces fit perfectly in the puzzle that is Mind Games Mentor. This is one of the best fragrances to release in 2024, in my opinion. I've worn it 4 times now, and I've gotten a compliment, at least one compliment each time. I've worn it to dinner every time I've worn it. And I've gotten at least one compliment, not counting my wife, every single time I've worn it so far. Because it's relatively new. I've had it a few months. I got a certain rotation for when we go to dinner, and I've worn this one 4 times. And I think I got a total of 6 compliments and 4 wearings. Look, I'm not wearing it I'm wearing it because it blows my fucking mind, and my wife loves it. That's what I'm looking for in my fragrance, especially something I wear to dinner. But it is an added bonus. I'm not going to sit here and act like it isn't nice when somebody wants to talk about how amazing I smell or how good that is. Oh my God, I've never smelled nothing like that. What is that? Oh wow, I've never smelled anything like that. That kind of stuff, when you're into fragrances, you're eager. Oh, you want to hear about my fragrance? Let me tell you all about this fragrance I love. Sure. You got a moment? You just fucked up, because I'm about to educate you on something you probably really don't care about, but you messed up and asked. That's the reality of the situation, because you see how I am with this fragrance? Come tell me how good I smell, stranger. Get ready. Get ready to talk about this for a moment. I'm going to try to be conscious of the moment and try not to overdo it and just, let the passion overrun. But it's like, man, you're right. It is amazing, right? So what does it smell like to you is what I'm going to ask, because I want to see what you pick up. And see if I hear smoky, if I hear sweet. I smell a little caramel. I want to hear that stuff. You see how over the top excited I got? This is the best for last type of situation. All these are great. That's why they're in this list. But this is phenomenal. This is phenomenal. And again, I was dead serious, and I mean this when I say it. Do not sample this if you don't want to potentially feel like, damn, I need to buy this $400 bottle now. Do not sample it unless you're prepared to reach that crossroads. I'm not guaranteeing you will feel that way. Boy, is there a really good chance. This is him, as the kids like to say today, Mind Games Mentor. Well, I thoroughly enjoyed talking about these 10. I hope you got some value in some form or fashion out of this, whether it just be for entertainment purposes, just for the love of the game with the passion of talking fragrances, or hopefully maybe you learned a little something about, you know what, I need to try that. There's links down below if you want to check anything out. You don't need to buy anything to watch my videos. I sure appreciate you just making it all the way through. I appreciate you. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe before you leave. Catch you on the next one.